children. Are you all right?
I'm fine now. I certainly don't want to stay in bed while others are out fighting a good fight.
How did it go?
Well...
I see. So even the ancient wizard's descendants are unable to stop the evil god.
What should we do then? Sooner or later, the enemy will wear down our defenses unless we take some sort of action.
For now, they only seem to be launching small and sporadic attacks on our towns and villages.
It's as if they're toying with us, whittling down our strength.
I say we should give them all we got. Full throttle. Invade Core Hydric Castle and wipe out Mount Pershio while we still have enough manpower.
It would be foolish to throw away your life like that.
But... I doubt we could invade the castle with our current capabilities. Maybe you're right. But still...
So you're saying that even though it's a shot in the dark, it's all we've got going for us?
That's what I'm saying. If we give it a shot, it just might work.
You'll never make it into Core Hydra Castle.
Cadell!
Your Majesty, it's been a while. So glad you're in good spirits.
It's good to see you again, Queen Shella. Why don't you think we can make it into Core Hydra?
They have raised a powerful shield around it. There's no way we could penetrate their defenses.
A shield? Well...
Trying to force your way in is useless. We can't afford to sacrifice lives in that manner.
Uh-huh. A simple-minded, happy-go-lucky guy who uses brute force to solve everything is a major turn-off to girls. That's enough. As you wish. This meeting is adjourned. In time, with the children of the earth helping us, we should be able to come up with a viable plan.
Yes, indeed. You all must be very tired.
Take a well-deserved rest.
Oh, and Callus, I got this for you. We went to Sadal Sud for a report. Someone told me to give this to you.
A letter? For me?
There's something I need to talk to you about. I'll be waiting for you in Sebelrai village.
Larikush? The doc, back in Sebelrai. Could he really have been working for the Empire with Gramps? Something to talk to me about? What could it be?
Huh? What is it?
Nothing. Thanks, Ketrin.
No problem.
Will you do me a favor? I need to go to Sebelrai to see Larikush. If he really did work with Gramps, he probably wants to tell me something about those days. This is a personal issue, so I don't plan on getting Shella and the others involved. Are you with me? I knew you'd say that. Thanks. Let's go.
Hey, kid. Where do you think you're going?
You're going to see Dr. Larikush, aren't you? We'll go with you.
But this has nothing to do with you. It must be about Gramps. Precisely. I'm curious as to what the famed engineer Dr. Georg was working on for the Empire.
You could get in bad, bad trouble. The Great Mizuki should watch over you.
It's really none of my business what you've got to do, but going at it alone is out of the question.
I don't know what to say.
Say let's go.
Sure, this is private business. We'll be waiting out here.
Thanks. It shouldn't take long.
Ah, you've come. Welcome. I've been waiting for you, Callus. Things must have been pretty awful for you, but I'm glad to see you're in good health.
Thanks, Doc. Long time no see. I got your letter, so you have something to tell me? Were you really working with Gramps and for the Empire?
Now then, where should I start? From the very beginning, I suppose, with the experiment we were working on. It's been almost 20 years since... I hear you've been to the Empire, so you probably heard about us. Georg and I were born in a small desert village. We were recruited by the Empire around 20 years ago and began working on military research. Under Emperor Geldoblame's orders, we were supposed to design new weaponry, battleships, and iron beetles. But there was also another project we were assigned to, one that was kept strictly confidential. We were attempting to solve the secret of the madness. What you know today as the Magna Essence is a technology originally established ages ago by the warlocks of old. It consists of encoding and storing the essence of matter, and decoding it later on to restore the material to its original form. Yet, it was said to be impossible to encode a living creature into a magnus. Since quite some time ago, this type of research has been strictly prohibited. Creatures casted into a magnus would end up distorted and defective when later invoked. But Georg had succeeded. He was a true genius. At first, we planned to make use of the power sealed deep within the lava caves. It turned out to be one of the sealed N Magnus. Giacomo, Amy, and Falon were the results of those initial experiments. That's why all three have extraordinary powers.
So Giacomo and his goons had gotten some power from the N Magnus.
That's right. But with the N Magnus sealed away, that was the best we could do. So we took it to another level. You know what I'm talking about? Can't you remember? This is about you and your brother, Fee. Callus. Georg created you artificially. Over the years, we conducted numerous experiments under close watch of the Empire. But even Georg couldn't succeed in encoding a living creature. Something very important, not found as a mere object, would be lost when a creature was encoded, and would be missing when the creature was reconstructed. It was then that Georg altered his approach yet again. Instead of encoding extracted Magna Essence, he began working on modifying an existing, working Magnus to create a living creature. Georg seemed totally engrossed in his work back then. He chose a base material and spent months modifying and improving, slowly altering the Magnus properties. His experiment was successful. Several months later, a new life was created. You were the result, Callus.
That's impossible!
I know this is difficult to believe, but you'll understand someday. Born from a Magnus, you were, how shall I put it, excessively human. You had too many of the flaws present in human beings, and you were born with just one wing. Gelderblame was unsatisfied with the results of that experiment. What he wanted was a pure, perfect life form. His intention was to study the madness of such a life form and to unlock the secret of eternal life. He would call this hypothetical life form the Divine Child.
The Divine Child?
Since around that time, Gelderblame became obsessed with overcoming the limitations of human beings. Georg furthered his studies based on your madness, making improvements until several years later, another life was born. A child born of a true, living Magnus.
So you're trying to tell me that Fee, he was created too? But Codell, one of the witches, said she didn't feel any Magnus within me.
Your Magnus is quite different from those found in this world. Georg had drastically modified the original Magnus. Suppose you brought in a creature with blue blood instead of red, and asked someone to study its blood. Many would shake their heads and say, it's not possible, as the creature has no blood at all. When people think of blood, they picture a red liquid. A blue liquid would not fit the description. They would need someone to point out to them that it's simply a matter of the creature's blood being blue. Until then, they would picture the creature as being bloodless, even if the blood was right there in front of their eyes. A similar thing could be said about your Magnus.
I think I get what you're trying to say.
Back to the subject. After Fee was born, Georg was a man redeemed. The time he spent with you and Fee may have stirred something within him that had been dormant for a long time. Or maybe there was something about Fee that brought about these changes in him. Eventually, 12 years ago, we decided to escape from the Empire.
Tell me, Larikush, what on earth
have we done? We succeeded in creating life from a Magnus. But for what purpose? Is it worth anything at all? Or did we merely open a door leading to further sorrow and despair?
Georg, we have other things to think about right now. We need to make a decision. After all, we're their parents. It's our responsibility to do the right thing and protect them.
Right. You're absolutely right.
What do you want to do? Follow Geldoblame's orders and continue your research?
No, we must put an end to this. Callus and Fee can no longer be victims of his vile ambitions.
I understand. There's only one thing we can do then.
Yes. Let's destroy this lab with explosives so that no records or samples can be recovered. Nothing shall remain.
We'll feign our deaths in the explosion and leave the Empire in secret. We should head for Mira.
That island is close to the dimensional boundary and periodically shifts between dimensions. Even if they find out we set up the explosion, being in Mira should buy us some time. The four of us will live in peace. You, I, Callus, and Fee.
Shh! Someone's coming.
I came to confirm tomorrow's schedule for the holobaton experiments. How is your analysis of its Magnus coming along?
No problems. It's going exactly as planned.
We need to account for fluctuations related to his groove patterns. We need more time, to be sure. I've told you this repeatedly.
So, you need more time. How much? 5 more years? 10? At your current rate, it may well take forever. We need results, not excuses. The Emperor's patience has its limits. Also, you have orders to dispose of the defective sample tomorrow. It's no longer of any use to us. No need to keep it alive.
Oh, Giacomo, how could you?
Georg! Don't!
Oh.
Giacomo, let me ask you. This experiment we're working on, the Emperor's plans, don't they bother you at all?
You, of all people, should know better. I'm not like you or my father. Thanks to your experiments, I now wield a power no mundane human could ever hope for. Besides, you started all this in the first place. Now is not the time for regrets. You will continue the experiment. I will see to that, I assure you. I myself can hardly wait. What this project will show us, where it will lead us. There's so much to look forward to.
Emperor, the laboratory is in flames.
Everything went as planned. We managed to reach Mira under the guise of travelers. Maybe it was from the shock of the explosion. When you awoke, after escaping from the Empire, you'd lost memory of everything that had happened until then. Fee was only 3 years old, so he didn't seem to remember much either. Soon after I left Mira and came to live here. I don't know exactly what happened to you in Mira 2 years ago. Georg and I had lived separate lives. Imagine how surprised I was when seeing you brought to this village.
Giacomo died in the Imperial capital.
Is that so?
was born of a Magnus. Georg created me? I can't believe that.
I'm not surprised. Take your time, boy. Let it sink in. Either way, you are yourself. That's what counts. How you were born is unimportant. It's the same for anybody. We don't choose to be born. We simply realize one day that we're here, that we exist. I have something for you. Georg asked me to give it to you, should you need it one day. This must be the time.
Gramps left me something?
Yes. Way back then, when we had settled down in Mira, Georg told me he intended to leave something for you. I don't know what it is, but you'll find it in a cabin up in the Celestial Alps.
The Celestial Alps?
Yes. There's a cabin near the mountaintop. Georg and I built it after we left the Empire.
A cabin in the Alps. He stashed it there, huh?
Yes. I suggest you go there and look for it.
Doctor, I need to ask you one last thing. Who gave me my name?
The Emperor, Gelderblame. Hearing you were not the perfect being he had envisioned, he called you an ill omen, a cursed premonition of things to come. He named you Kaitos, which means raven in a long-lost language.
I see.
After we left the Empire, Georg and I tried to give you a new name, but you would have none of it. Your name was the one thing you remembered.
I guess it was the reason for my existence. And my hatred. Something I just couldn't get rid of.
Kaitos, are you okay?
I'm fine. Would you all come with me to the Celestial Alps? The doctor said Gramps left me something there.
No problem. I don't know what went on in there between you and the doc, but cheer up, kid.
Yes, we have so much left to do. We need you in high spirits.
You're clear, Kaitos. The directive will be beaten.
Focus your thoughts solely on this mission. You'll have plenty of time for reflection once it's over. Survival is priority one, right?
Thanks. All of you. Yeah. Let's go, everyone.